Give fire! So, firearms like this matchlock musket were, generally speaking, the weapon of choice for the men here at Jamestown for a handful of really good reasons. One, it's the range advantage these are offering them. A man with a weapon like this would be expected to be able to hit a man-sized target at least 100 yards, and quite often were capable, the weapons at least, of much further. With the bow and arrow, on the other hand, the paladins, skilled as they are, as one Englishman describes it, able to hit the birds as they fly, beasts as they run, fish as they swim, they're still limited to roughly a fist-sized target at 40 yards or so, giving the English over 60 yards of range advantage. Now, to be fair, I did say fist-sized versus man-sized target. This is to help account for the difference in stopping power. With a 3/4 inch ball going roughly the speed of sound, it doesn't really matter where that hits somebody, that person isn't fighting anymore that day, even if they manage to survive. With a bow and arrow, on the other hand, you have to hit one of a handful of this-sized targets on a person to drop them immediately. Otherwise, as one Englishman unfortunately found out, you can receive over a dozen arrows to various portions of your body and keep fighting. This one guy survived for about a week or so before he died because they couldn't get him back in time to see the doctor. This takes your opponent out of the fight a lot more quickly and consistently. There are, of course, drawbacks. For one, I'm waving around, burning rope in one hand, and pouring loose gunpowder into my weapon with the other. And historically would be doing this in fairly close proximity to other people also waving around burning ropes and loose gunpowder. So they have a very particular drill to do it safely. We're going to go through it dry for now, just so y'all can get a little bit of a closer view of how this is loaded. First, I prime my pan with this flask at my hip. From here, I'm going to close my pan cover, and that's going to be my safety. Keeps that prime powder in, everything else out. I cast the piece about, take one of these chargers from my bandolier, pop the top open if it doesn't get stuck on me. There it goes. Charge the main powder charge, load it with a sled ball off and sword in the cheek, and take my scouring stick, ram everything nicely home. And that's going to help compact that powder back there, make sure everything's seated against the breech. Put that away, and then I get to the matchlock portion of my weapon, where I take this slow match of rope. It's been boiled in live, real caustic solution, so that it'll burn nice and slowly. Cock it like so into the serpentine, and give it a test. And this is where I'm checking to see where it's going to land in the pan, so that I would be ready to raise my arm, indicating to my officer that I am prepared to, on his command, present your piece and give fire. And that can take 20 to 30 seconds when I'm not, narrating the entire sequence, which is not bad, but it's not great either. So they're working in teams. This way you can have, say, one line of guys reloading while another steps in front of them to fire and sort of cover their reload. You repeat this about 5 times, and now you have enough lines to keep firing so that everyone can reload at a fairly comfortable pace, and you don't have anybody potentially, rushing themselves when dealing with burning ropes and loose gunpowder. When you rush, that's how mistakes happen. Mistakes can be quite explosive with these things. So, I'm going to go ahead and fire that second shot that I promised y'all, and answer any questions that may remain. Freeze at your pace! Give fire!